Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Rundown. We're going to go over the MLB games scheduled for Thursday, May 1st, 2025. Now, if you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Put your baseball picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my daily rundown best bet in MLB, you can find those at the premium picks tab at pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alrighty, here we go. Here are the games for Thursday, Major League Baseball. First up, we got the Chicago Cubs taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Colin Ray and Paul Skeens are the starters. Now, Skeens has been one of the best pitchers in baseball this year. 2.39 ERA, good strikeout numbers, keeps the ball on the ground, limits sharp contact. The control's been there, just one home run given up, only 4 walks given up in 37 2/3. The problem is the Pirates' offense and sometimes bullpen behind them is not the strongest. And we know Pittsburgh has struggled against right-handed pitching this season. Colin Ray's pitched really well, and the Cubs have won a lot of his games, whether it's been in the starting pitching position or out of the bullpen. When Ray is on the mound, the Cubs have won a lot of his appearances, and that includes the last game against a tough Philadelphia Phillies team. I mean, you look at some of the wins that the Cubs have had with Ray as a starter. Phillies, Diamondbacks, Dodgers, the last 3, and all those were run-line covers as well, wins by more than 1 run. Ray, his last game against the Phillies, 5 innings, 7 strikeouts, no runs. If he can put together a line like that, I think the Cubs offense will back him up. And while I do think the bullpens are similar, and I honestly could say the Pirates have the stronger pen in terms of the bullpen ERA and projected WAR, it's not enough for me. I just think that Pirates offense against righties just not good enough. So I'm going to go with the Cubs on the money line in this one on the road and lean towards the under. Next up, we got the St. Louis Cardinals taking on the Cincinnati Reds. Matthew Liberatore and Andrew Abbott are the starters. Similar to the first game, I think both of these starting pitching options are good ones. Liberatore's in good form. He's pitched well at Great American, very small sample size, but I think he could put together a good outing. I think Andrew Abbott's also proved he's pitched really well at Great American over the years. The difference for me is the Reds have the better numbers offensively against lefties in the last couple of weeks. I trust their bullpen a little bit more. They're playing at home. I think Abbott is slightly the better option as well to start this game, so I'm going to roll with the Reds in this one on the money line at Great American Ballpark. Next up, we got the New York Mets taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Zach Gallen and Kodai Senga are the starters. I'm going to roll with the Mets in this one. They've been great at Citi Field. Kodai Senga's been pitching really well, and while I do think there are some mild regression concerns in his game, I think he'll be good enough. I think the Diamondbacks will score some runs early in this one. That's why I like the over in the first 5, but I also think that Zach Gallen has struggled this season. The Mets bullpen's been very sharp. The lineup's been excellent. And the defense we saw earlier in the series was also, fantastic. We got one of the best fielding shortstops in the league in Francisco Lindor. Vientos, I think, has made some strides in improving his game at third base. That was a problem for him. His defense was an issue, his rookie season especially. He's gotten better. He's not necessarily a gold glove defender, but that left side of the infield is much stronger. And even Pete Alonso has been solid at first base. So I'm going to go with the Mets in this one on the money line at Citi Field. Next up, we got the Kansas City Royals taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. Seth Lugo and Shane Baz are your projected starters. I think we're going to see a lower scoring game, but I look for the Rays to win it. Seth Lugo's been sharp, but more so at Kauffman Stadium, not so much on the road. We saw his couple of road starts. He did struggle with the sharp contact, giving up some home runs and earned runs in general. Look at the games against the Tigers and Yankees. He went 6 2/3 in each of those starts, but gave up 12 hits combined, 7 runs, 5 home runs to go with it, and those ended up being Royals losses. And there's just not a lot of margin for error with the Royals' offensive struggles against right-handed pitching. Shane Baz has pitched well, is coming off one of his best starts of the season. I'm going to roll with the Rays in this one on the money line and run line. Next up, we got the Minnesota Twins taking on the Cleveland Guardians. Simeon Woods Richardson and Ben Lively are the starters. I've mentioned the regression concerns with Ben Lively. He did give up 2 more home runs in that last start against the Red Sox. It was good enough, though, for the Guardians to still hold on to win that game 5-4, and they've won 3 of his last 4 games, but the Twins are, improving offensively. Simeon Woods Richardson, a really good outing in that last one against the Angels. 5 1/3 innings, 1 run, 7 strikeouts. Probably his best start of the season, the best start in a while. And I think that the Twins can get a few runs off of Lively, probably a few home runs off of Lively early as well. And I think it's going to be enough for a win with arguably the best bullpen in baseball. In terms of projected WAR, that's the case with the Minnesota Twins. So give me the Twins on the money line. Next up, the Chicago White Sox hosting the Milwaukee Brewers. Chad Patrick and Sean Burke are the starters. Patrick, I do expect some regression going forward, but I think he's going to get a lot of run support in this game. I don't love Sean Burke on the other side for Chicago. And for that reason, I'm going to roll with the Brewers on the run line. Now, Patrick on the road, not as strong as he's been at home, but still, he's somebody that's probably going to go out 4 or 5 decent innings, 2-3 runs, keep his team in the game, keep him competitive, and then the Brewers' bats could do the rest of the work. And I know Milwaukee's bullpen has struggled, but I think a lot of that was because they were put into so many tough spots early, very early in the season, the first couple of weeks, with all their injuries. And it's still the case right now. They're not full strength with their pitching staff, but I think the Brewers' bullpen's a lot better than their current bullpen ERA. I think it's better than the White Sox bullpen, and I think the Brewers win this game and win it by margin. So I'm going to lay the 1.5 runs with Milwaukee. Next up, we got the Texas Rangers hosting the Athletics. We've got Jeffrey Springs and Tyler Mahle on the mound. Tyler Mahle overall has had a great start to the season, but even better when he's pitching at Globe Life Field. 19 2/3 of one-run ball, and really, it was that first start of the season where he was just way off. His control was way off. He gave up the run against the Red Sox, but since that season debut, his last 3 games at Globe Life, no runs given up. He's got a 121 opponent's batting average at home, no home runs given up, 21 strikeouts, 19 2/3. He has just been excellent, and I think he's the better option in this game by a good margin. Jeffrey Springs has struggled. His ERA now above 6 on the season. A lot of extra base hits, a lot of home runs given up, at least one his last 5 games. I got to roll with the Rangers in this one on the money line and run line. Next up, we got the Washington Nationals taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. Brad Lord and Taijuan Walker are your starters. It may be square, but I got to go with the over in this game between the Phillies and Nationals. You got the 2 weakest bullpens in baseball going into Wednesday's game in terms of bullpen ERA. You got 2 starting pitchers that I do not trust in this matchup. Walker's got a sub-3 ERA for now. It's not going to be the case for much longer. There are some significant regression concerns in his game. The expected numbers are through the roof, and we even saw in the last game, he pitched at Wrigley Field. It was very, very good pitcher-friendly weather, and he still gave up 2 runs in 3 innings with 2 walks, 6 base hits, and his pitch count went through the roof in the beginning of that start. I think the Nationals, who have been very chippy offensively, will be able to get to him. The Phillies should get to Brad Lord, and we go way over the total here in Nationals-Phillies. Next up, the Boston Red Sox taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. Jose Barrios and Tanner Houck are your projected starters. Now, originally we thought that Barrios was going to go on Wednesday. He's moved here to Thursday. I think he pitches pretty well. He had a good start against Boston earlier in the season. And while his numbers against the current Red Sox hitters are a little bit steep in terms of the expected slugging percentage, expected batting average, I still think he's a good option in this game. And the better option when you look at Tanner Houck's struggles this year, giving up a lot of base hits, a lot of base runners, and a lot of earned runs with an ERA above 7.5. Even worse on the road, 0-2 with an 11.65 ERA. I'm going to take the Blue Jays in this one on the money line. Next up, we got the Detroit Tigers taking on the Los Angeles Angels. Casey Mize and Kyle Hendricks are your starters. I like the over in the first 5 innings. I do think Casey Mize has some regression concerns. I don't love the low strikeout rate right now, and I think he'll be the better option in this game. But I still think the Angels can chip in a few runs in the first half of this ball game. I think the Tigers do the rest of the work to get us over the first 5 because Kyle Hendricks has really struggled. 0-3, 6.65 ERA. Even most recently, he has just not been pitching well. And, the Tigers' offense against right-handed pitching in the last couple of weeks has not been great, especially away from Comerica. But I still think against Hendricks, we could see the Detroit get a few runs early. Give me the over in the first 5. Next up, we got the Rockies and the Giants, the final game for Thursday's card in Major League Baseball. Kyle Freeland and Justin Verlander are the projected starters. I like the opposite in this game. I think we see a really low-scoring contest. Give me the under. You got the Rockies, who have already struggled mightily offensively to start this season, now playing in San Francisco Oracle Park, which is very pitcher-friendly. After a Coors Field series, with the Rockies not getting a day off in between, I expect some really sluggish bats. I would take the Rockies team total under, but it's already so low that I think the better play would just be to take the full game under between both of these teams, because I also think Freeland could put together a decent outing. Now, I know he has struggled recently. He had a much better start in his first few games of the season, but when you look at Freeland and this Giants lineup, San Francisco, I mentioned the underlying numbers offensively for this team. They are not great. They're near the bottom of the league. Expected batting average, slugging percentage, xWOBA. I just think that Freeland will be good enough to keep this game low scoring. And the Rockies bullpen has not really been the problem for Colorado this year. It's been that offense. It's been the starting rotation. So I'm not too worried about the bullpen in terms of giving up some late runs. I think we see a low scoring game and a low scoring series. Give me the under. And that's it. Those are the games for Thursday in baseball. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium, and there is a link in the description. As always, this is Romanelli. Good luck.